What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. We're going to try and make the best of this. I don't know what is going on, but I don't hear that tone anymore. I don't know if the microphone was broken, or if it's the cable, or if it's the interface. I don't really know, but we're going to try and move forward here. Either way, once again, we're going to read through the schedule really quick, and we're going to do the thing. We're going to be starting out with the video title, Walmart warns of higher prices as Trump tariffs start to bite, blaming President Trump for price increase and all of that. But what they kind of mumble in this video is Walmart's making more profit than they're expecting, but for some reason they still got to increase the prices. Then we got an interesting video titled, Derek Chauvin, Trump has no plans to pardon. Minnesota officials weigh in. For some reason, they're floating the idea that President Trump may pardon Derek Chauvin, but the White House says that's not true at all. But it doesn't matter. Minnesota, they're bracing for the impact of this pardon that's never coming. That's kind of what Democrats are doing right now, is preparing everybody for stuff that isn't happening. Then we got a video titled, Human Composting Burial Option Will Soon Be Legal in 13 States. I don't know why people want to compost their loved ones, but that's something that apparently 68% of Americans are interested in, according to some poll that they took. Then we got a video titled, Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan pleads not guilty to obstructing federal agents. It sounds like things are happening, but it really seems like it's not going to. They're talking about dismissing the charges against the judge based on judicial immunity. So no accountability. These people apparently are above the law. Then we got another interesting video titled 209 border crossers have been arrested for trespassing on military land. A week or two ago, we covered a story where they were talking about building a military base on the border. That way, if border crossers cross, they'll be trespassing on military property. As far as I know, they don't have anything even there. They just have the property outlined, and they've already caught 209 people trespassing on military property. Then we got a video titled, DHS detainees in Texas threatened ICE agents and barricade themselves inside. This is the same facility that had the border crossers spelling out SOS out in the yard. Of course, we know that was a publicity stunt because we had a video showing them all high-fiving each other and everything right after doing the SOS thing. Then we got a video titled, Mother allegedly bought son ammunition and tactical gear to carry out an attack on Texas middle school. It's a mother-son duo of radicalism. Then the last little bit of the news is Lefties losing it, and this one's titled, Ben & Jerry's co-founder interrupts RFK Jr.'s hearing. Of course, that's a plethora of lefties losing their marbles. Then we will be getting into the fun stuff. We'll be opening today's door of the Advent calendar sent to us by Tori Wayne. Then we got two funny videos of the day. First one's titled, Doggone It. And our official funny video of the day is titled, Baby Theo is Ready to Go. We're going to read through the chat really quick and see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, Matt Rogers? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Russell? What's up, Snooks? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys sticking around while I'm dealing with technical problems. What is up, everyone over on Rumble? What's up, Shroomish? You were first today. Appreciate you racing in the chat, Shroomish. What's up, Ghostly? What's up, Mr. Satan? What's up, Turbo? What's up, Dutton? What's up, H-Bick? Happy freedom, you hooligans. What's up, Stoner? Russell, you're omnipresent. I appreciate you. Let me see. What's up, Let's Go, Brandon? What's up, Nana? Happy freedom. What's up, Roy? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom. You hooligans are welcome to hit that like button. Try and get us on the front page of Rumble. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, Meta? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being with us. Let's see, make sure everything's running correctly. And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? What is going on with Twitch? There we go. What's up, Biking Cat? What's up, Master Meatball? Happy freedom. What's up, Tractor? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone over on the communism platform? What's up, Mr. Satan? You're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Sassy Patriot? What's up, Agent O? Happy freedom to you. Hair Juicy, you're omnipresent. Let's see. What's up, Proud Patriot Girl? What's up, Cam? Happy freedom. Hair Juicer, it should be working. Yep, there I is right there on the screen. And what is up, everyone over on X? Do the thing. There we go. Happy freedom, everyone watching on X. All right, let's try and actually cover the news today now that I've been sitting here for 6.5 hours. Like I said, this first one's titled, Walmart warns of higher prices as Trump tariffs start to bite. Now, before we get into this, I'm going to remind you, hooligans, really quick. We have these Trump was right about everything t-shirts. And this design was created by Alistair, and Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will be posting his link in all of the chats for you hooligans to have the opportunity to hire him for your creative needs, because if you think it, he can create it. Now, this design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs. No stickers. We have no stickers. There's something's going on with the stickers. But we do got dog tags, long sleeve shirts, and all of that. Today I got on the Happy Freedom Hooligan tank top. I am melting right before your eyes. I'm going to drop all the links in the chats while we're watching this first video.
Shares of Walmart fell as much as 5% Thursday morning, after executives said the retail giant, known for its advertising of low prices, will have to start raising them later this month due to the high cost of tariffs. The announcement is a clear signal that U.S. President Donald Trump's trade war is filtering through to the American economy, even to a company noted for its ability to manage costs more aggressively than rivals to keep prices low. Walmart also declined to provide a profit forecast for the second quarter, even as the company's U.S. comparable sales surpassed expectations in the first quarter. It also posted a quarterly profit that topped estimates. U.S. shoppers will start to see prices rise at the end of May and certainly in June, Walmart's chief financial officer John David Rainey said in a CNBC interview. On a post-earnings call with analysts, he said the retailer would also have to cut back on orders as it considers price elasticity. As the largest importer of container goods in the United States, Walmart is heavily exposed to tariffs. Walmart's CEO Doug McMillon said the retailer would not be able to absorb all the tariff costs because of narrow retail margins. However, he said he was committed to ensuring that tariff-related costs on general merchandise, which come primarily from China, do not drive food prices higher. Separately, a report from the Commerce Department said U.S. retail sales growth slowed in April. It showed that a boost from households front-loading car purchases ahead of tariffs was fading, and that households pulled back on other spending, including on airline tickets and hotel stays, due to economic uncertainty.
Okay. Now, obviously, this is unnecessary. Walmart makes a ton of money. They do not have to try and put those costs onto us. It says Walmart refused to provide a profit forecast, even though that their last profit forecast, the profit itself surpassed their expectations. So they're making plenty of profit. Everybody knows that the tariffs is to bring business back to America and to get fair trade, because other countries have been putting tariffs on us without us doing anything for a long time. I think when we looked it up, it was like since the 30s or something like that. So all these woke companies, they're trying to basically punish us for voting for President Trump because he's trying to get fair trade. Again, this is completely unnecessary. Walmart could afford to give us fair prices, but they'd rather not because they're a bunch of assholes. Next up, Derek Chauvin. Trump has no plans to pardon him, but Minnesota officials weigh in. Minnesota is preparing local Minnesotians, if that's what they're called, to be ready for unrest if President Trump pardons Derek Chauvin, basically promising that there's going to be riots and stuff. But the thing is nobody even said that was going to happen. They're just making it up as something for people to worry about. Kind of like the Medicaid and all that kind of stuff, right? Trump's going to cut Medicaid or Medicare, one or the other, and he's going to cut Social Security, right? And the Democrats keep saying that, and now elderly people and stupid young people are all worried about something that's not even happening. This Derek Chauvin situation is very much the same. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Walmart increasing prices. Russell, I try not to shop at Walmart. I go to Walmart because there's nothing else here. I go everywhere else and I can't get what I want, so I can either order from Amazon or drive to Walmart, and I'd rather get what I'm looking for today than wait a week for some Chinese crap from Amazon. I'm kind of stuck in a tough situation. Russell, you have a very nice orange cable. It's actually red, so I really appreciate you saying it's orange because I hate the color red. Hate the shit out of it. But, you know, like kind of like car parts, right? New parts don't go with old parts. So I figure if we're changing the mic and changing the whatever the fuck this is called that I can't even think what it's called right at the top of my damn head. Jesus loves us. Regardless of that, this microphone cable came with the microphone itself. I basically just traded out like $500 in equipment. Hopefully the interface doesn't fucking die. That's what I originally thought was happening, but this interface is only like 5 months old and it was $400. There's no reason why it should be dead. I don't know. I'm hoping for the best. J Spray, happy freedom to you. I'd like to see Walmart fall. Me too. They're trash. They're trash. I used to not worry about that kind of stuff so much, but they got rid of handgun ammunition and they became like afraid of the Second Amendment and all this just woke shit. You know, like they're not good for small business. They're not good for a lot of reasons. Matt Rogers, kind of ironic that they have already put in digital shelf tags. See, that hasn't come to the Walmart over here yet, but we covered like a year ago that they were going to start doing that. So I've been waiting because they're going to make it so those price tags will reflect the price based on the time of day. If you're at Walmart and it's busy, they're going to make you pay more per item, just changing the digital tags. That's wrong. I don't know. It feels unfair to a certain degree. Blame the juice. You're a juicer. Oh, so I'm not buying American. Thanks, Wally World. Yeah, exactly. No, I appreciate you, J Spray. Bill Clay, the Waltons are the richest family. Is that who owns Walmart? Ghostly, the news is saying, go ahead, spend all your money now because tomorrow is scary. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Tony Rez? Happy freedom to you. Silver Wolf, you shop at Meijer. I go to Meijer sometimes, but the prices are a little bit more expensive. I don't know. I might have to start supporting Meijer. Walmart sucks ass. Nana, they lie and get away with it. They sure do. You are not wrong. What's up, Silver Wolf? Happy freedom to you. Bill Clay, they still got trapper keepers? I guess. I don't see young people carrying that kind of equipment, but I had that when I was young. When I was a young lad and I was still in school. Stoner, I don't sound like static no more. Thank you. So, I don't want to dwell on this the whole live. I know you guys don't give that much of a shit. I did hear the tone that you guys were talking about, that it was like a tone. There's a hissing sound, which I'm not sure what that is, but hopefully it's not too terrible right now. That has something to do with the interface. But there was a loud, like, tone. And I think it was actually the microphone, which I'm upset about. I've had that microphone for 9 years or something like that, and I love that microphone. And now they got the 6th or 7th generation of that mic, and I guess it doesn't sound as good as the first generation. So I could replace the microphone, but it's not going to sound the way that it did yesterday. And that really sucks because I really like that microphone. But either way, this microphone that I just slapped is the same microphone that you see in the Rich Men North of Richmond video, right? You know the song I'm talking about? When he's singing in that microphone, he's singing into an NT1 Rhodes microphone, which is what this is. This is the 5th generation. That's why it's black and not silver. But it is that microphone. This is considered one of the highest quality budget microphones that you can get. Budget microphones sound cheap, but microphones are so fucking expensive that they go up to $20,000-$30,000 a piece. And so for this to be a budget microphone, this microphone I think is $300 or $400. That's considered a budget microphone in the music world. I've been excited to use it. I thought I was going to use it for music, but that's okay. I'm going to have to get used to this. That's okay. As long as you guys can hear me, that's all that matters. Stoner, Aldi's is dope. They're an example of German efficiency. That's rough. Elon salute somewhere. Anyways, I haven't been into Aldi's yet. I'm still working on it. My feed, happy freedom to you. They quit selling handgun ammo after the deadly shooting in Texas Walmart. Mrs. Trucker G lost her brother in that shooting. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't realize that was why. I just know that they stopped selling handgun ammo, and I was like, what the shit? Done, you got a cheap mic? I mean, as long as it works. Stoner, I love that place. They force you to take your carts back or you lose a quarter. I like that. I actually have integrity when it comes to carts, and that probably sounds really dorky and stupid, but I do not leave my carts at all. I never have since I've been an adult. When I was young, I used to have to push carts at Meijer. And I always got pissed at people leaving carts all over the place because I'm the one that had to go wrangle them up and bring them back to the store. As soon as I could drive and buy my own groceries and shit, I always bring my carts back to the stalls. I never leave them anywhere. On top of that, when I had my gold Subaru and I had just bought it, nicest car I ever had. Not that it was a nice car, but it was nice to me. I was always scared to park it in the parking lot because dumbasses leave their carts everywhere and the wind blows it right into your car. That's the bad thing about having a nice car. You got to worry about everybody else fucking it up. I don't know. Life problems. Russell, I like Trucker G. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time. Jay Spray, you don't like Aldi's? I haven't been there yet. There is one in Ludington. I keep trying to go there, but they're not open as late as Walmart is. Russell, that sounds awesome. You gonna show us a picture? Or you? Yeah, one way or the other. I want to check it out, Russell. Snooks, the audio's fine now. Thank you. Juicer. Walmart has facial recognition with digital tags. They could just jack up wait a minute. Your habit purchases as you move through the store. Yeah, here, Juicer. It's just we don't have the tags. So like here, we still got stickers. We don't have digital tags at our Walmart. They'd have to go over there in person and re-put the labels on the shelves and shit. So we're fine for now, but I'm waiting for those digital tags to come here. Done. I take my cart back and anyone's that's older than me by a decade or two. Yeah, Dutton, I do the same thing. I try to do the same thing, but when I approach old people, they think I'm Antifa or something. They think I'm some bad guy. If I see in their face that they're afraid of me or they're questioning what my intentions are, I just leave them alone. I'm not going to change what they think about my appearance, so I just leave them alone. But if they're not afraid, I'm actually a really nice guy if they can, stick around long enough. What's up, Trapper? Happy freedom to you. Silver Wolf, make Democrats rich again, open up USAID. That's what they want. Meta, there are bad storms in Jeff's direction. There might be. It's sunny outside right now. I don't know. Tractor, the Walmart in Hilo High is insane. Night of Living Dead scary, so crowded. I've gone mom and pops my goods for yeah, going to small stores to get food. Yeah. I try to with the grocery store here, but there's certain things I can't get. Like if I try to get sauce, it could be anything. It could be hot sauce, lemon juice, ketchup. Not that I eat ketchup, but like mustard, barbecue sauce. It's all moldy because it's been sitting on the shelf for 20 years. And when you tell them it's moldy, they just go, "Oh, bring it back." And it's like, okay, so you bring it back, you get your couple bucks back, you go grab another one off the shelf. That one's moldy too. And you can sit there and play that game as much as you want to, but they know it's moldy. And they're not doing anything about it because they know most people aren't going to drive all the way back to the store to take it back. So they leave moldy shit on the shelves just waiting for you to spend those doll hairs on it. So I go to the local grocery store for burger and stuff like that because they got their own butcher. So you get burger for like $4. You get steak for $6. But everything else, I got to go to Walmart to get it because people are assholes because nobody's got integrity in this world. What's up, Sean? Happy freedom. Sean, I heard Walmart had facial recognition on entering. Why? Because of stealing. Because people go to the self-checkout and they steal, and they think they get away with it. Walmart has a policy where they wait for you to steal $100 worth of merchandise, and then they try to get you for felony theft. So when you walk out with that orange, and you think you got away with it, they're keeping a tab on you. And every time you come back, it's a rolling tab. And when you hit $100 in stolen goods, they send state police to your house. Hey, my mom and pop grocer has the best beef. Yeah, I think big businesses are better for getting meat and stuff like that. What's up, Cube? Happy freedom. What's up, Mitchell? Corey Luca, you could always use your headphones as a mic. No, it sounds terrible. We do that for the gaming lives, and I hate the way that sounds. What's up, Vinny C? Mitchell, did Comey send out a hit on Trump? Did you see it? No. I don't know anything about that. I'll have to look into it. What's up, Ripper? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. I'll have to look into Comey coming after Trump after the live. What's up, Bob Voyage? Happy freedom to you. Bob Voyage. So what happens when you grab an item and it says 99 cents, you go to the checkout and they charge you $200, $200 for it? I don't know. I don't know how it works, Bob. I have no idea how that works. We don't have the digital tags yet, but it's price manipulation. I know that. J Spray. Yeah, I think it was something in the microphone. It was like I can't even make the sound. It was a tone that was happening. I'm pretty sure it was that other microphone. Yeah, Snooks, I remember. We're going to get in this next video. Like I said, this is Derek Chauvin, or it's not Derek Chauvin, but it's about Derek Chauvin. It's titled, Trump Has No Plans to Pardon, and Minnesota Officials Weigh In. I don't know why they wrote it like that, but like I said, this is like kind of a false flag event for people in Minnesota. They're trying to get people in Minnesota to be concerned about the pardon of Derek Chauvin because it's going to bring on more riots. But no one's actually talking about pardoning him. They're just bringing it up because we're coming up on the anniversary of George Floyd's death, which is also the anniversary of how long we've been live streaming. At the end of this month, like the very last day of this month, it'll be 5 years that we have been live streaming every day. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. Once again, this is Derek Chauvin. Trump has no plans to pardon, and Minnesota officials weigh in. Hit the like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Back here, Sue, live now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Let's keep it moving with more of these top headlines. Our next one takes us to the Twin Cities. Live picture there over Minneapolis, Minnesota. Take a look. All right, so we are learning a little more as we approach the 5-year mark since the murder of George Floyd. That was May the 25th, 2020. And as that anniversary approaches, there is speculation, especially there within the Twin Cities, that President Trump may issue a federal pardon for Derek Chauvin, the police officer accused and convicted in his connection with Floyd's murder here. So want to just read from some of the local reporting out there, including one of the local news affiliates, KSTP, the ABC affiliate, reporting just today that Governor Tim Walz, the Minnesota National Guard, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, and Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison have been warned about potential unrest if the president pardons Chauvin, as some key Republicans have advocated or urged or pressed President Trump to do. But the White House is throwing cold water on this very notion. They have just about, 2 months ago. I want to put up this post from our colleague there, Fox News correspondent Matt Finn, who covered the protests in Minneapolis at the time, saying this, a White House official telling Fox News the president is not planning to pardon Derek Chauvin. Nothing has changed since Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt addressed this question in March. But there is a piece just today in the major newspaper in the Twin Cities, the Star Tribune, and it goes as follows, that state political and law enforcement leaders are preparing for the possibility that President Trump could pardon Derek Chauvin's federal conviction in connection with the murder of George Floyd. We're also hearing in this piece from current Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, responding to questions from reporters this week about this very topic. Governor Walz, according to the Star Tribune, said that the White House has given him no indication that a federal pardon for Chauvin is imminent. Nonetheless, he said he's bracing for the possibility, reminding people that even if Chauvin's sentence is commuted on the federal level, he would be transferred to Minnesota to serve out the remainder of his lengthy state prison term. So remember, this was dual track at the time of the prosecution and conviction of Chauvin at the state level and at the federal level. Now, Walt said this, quote, "If Donald Trump exercises his constitutional right to do so, whether I agree and I strongly disagree with him, if he issues that pardon, we will simply transfer Derek Chauvin to serve out his 22 and a half years in prison in Minnesota." Walt said this, quote, "So, no indication whether they're going to do it or not, but I think it behooves us to be prepared for it. With this presidency, it seems like that might be something they would do." Also, we're hearing from the Minnesota Attorney General, Keith Ellison. Remember, his office led the state prosecution of Chauvin. He is echoing that same sentiment from Governor Walz that a pardon by Trump would not lead to Chauvin's release.
Okay. Now, that guy couldn't make that story sound any more boring with the way he talks. Either way, like I said, they're trying to get people in Minnesota all worked up over nothing. They're not going to let him go. It says the National Guard, the mayor of Minnesota, and the Minnesota Attorney General has been warned of potential unrest if Derek Chauvin gets pardoned. The White House says there is no plan to pardon Derek Chauvin. Local news is spreading lies that the White House might give a pardon, and the state is trying to raise concerns about something that just isn't going to happen. The governor and attorney general are saying that they wouldn't release him even if he was to be pardoned. And so it's a whole bunch of nothing going on. But they want to make sure that the people in Minnesota are concerned about this thing that's not even going to happen. It's a very stupid situation, but like I said, they're doing the same thing, talking about Medicaid and Social Security. They're telling everybody Trump's going to take away, these two things, or they're going to cut it, or they're going to do something. And that's not that. No one's talking about that. No one is saying that that's going to happen, but they keep saying it. They keep saying this is Trump's plan, even though it's not. And so people are worried about this when they don't need to be. There should be something against elected officials causing concern for no reason. Either way, next up, human composting burial option will soon be legal in 13 states. So if you want to compost one of your loved ones and turn them into soil, that'll be an option. Most of the states are over on the left coast, but I think they say Georgia's about to join the other 12 states. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you Hooligans think about Derek Chauvin. Do you think that he should get a pardon or no? I did see something interesting on X where people were talking about how they wanted Derek Chauvin to get a pardon by President Trump, and people in the comments were asking Grok about it. And Grok was saying that he doesn't deserve a pardon because he killed George Floyd. Somebody else asked Grok about the autopsy report that came out, I don't even know when, way after the trial, saying that George Floyd actually had a lethal amount of fentanyl in his system. But Grok says that the coroner report for the trial stated that it was Derek Chauvin that killed George Floyd, not the overdose. And so Grok isn't willing to say that the autopsy report saying he had a lethal amount of fentanyl, Grok's not willing to say that's the reason that George Floyd died, just because of the information that happened in the court case. But a lot of people believe that Derek Chauvin should get a pardon, or he should get a retrial, because of that autopsy report coming out stating that no, he had a lethal amount of fentanyl in his system. And it seems political that they just blamed it on Derek Chauvin, but I don't know, we'll see. 10 man, same thing happens when you're buried. I mean, yeah, that's true. Matt Rogers, they're playing another Summer of Love. Yeah, for sure. For sure. 10 man, Chauvin has state charges also. He won't be free for another 20 years. Yeah. They're not going to let him go. 10 man, Grok's program not to say it. Yeah. Grok is compromised. Stoner, golf ball size hail in the storm coming. Well, be safe, Stoner. That's crazy. Stoner, fuck that. Trump needs to pardon him now just to force Tampon Tim to release him. Well, they said that they would just move him around. They're not even going to let him go. What's up, Time Traveler? Happy freedom to you. What's up, MU? Happy freedom to you. And that whole area looks like shit. You talking about George Floyd Square? Yeah, it does. Meta just trying to stir up shit with this pardon crap. Let him rot in jail. You think Chauvin actually killed George Floyd? Some people do. Some people think it was fentanyl that killed him. We covered all of that. What's up, Southern Eagleman? Happy freedom to you. Thank you for making your way back to us. What's up, Jeff S? Happy freedom. Jeff S. Derek was also at Sandy Hook. So I've never heard that. What's up, Ride? Happy freedom to you. Vinny C. Floyd died of an overdose. See, I think they should give him a retrial. If the autopsy report is real that came out after the trial stating that George Floyd had a lethal amount of fentanyl in his system, I think they should give him a retrial. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I do not think they are going to let Derek Chauvin out no matter what, because they want to feel justified that the case is over. And if they bring it back and they potentially let him out or even get him pardoned, they think it'll stir up all that BLM stuff. But that BLM stuff is coming no matter what. They're already out there. They're already out there. There's so many different cases that are pending right now in so many different ways that have protesters behind them just waiting. Even this judge that took, the Wisconsin judge that took the illegal and snuck him out of the courthouse, she was at court for 5 minutes today, and there was protesters there defending her. Because, like, they're so ready to go. They can't figure out what reason they're going to protest for first, but we're going to have protests this summer. What's up, Juggalo? Happy freedom to you. All right, hooligans, we're going to move into this next one. Like I said, human composting burial options will soon be legal in 13 states. It's coming up next, but first I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this polled up. Once again, this is human composting burial option will soon be legal in 13 states. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
How's this one going down with your Cheerios today? An eco-friendly farewell. One end-of-life service is rapidly gaining popularity. We're talking about human composting, and Elizabeth Pran is here to tell us about that and why advocates are pushing for this option. Good morning, Liz.
Good morning. Yeah, I mean, this will wake you up, right? Okay, so we're here to clarify some misconceptions about terramation, and it really does mirror the body's natural breakdown into the earth, but I will say it's done in controlled environments, and it's safe, and it's sterile. It takes about 60 to 90 days. The body is wrapped in clothing. It's put in materials inside of a vessel where it slowly breaks down and turns into soil, and then that soil is given back to the family, right? So it's a very eco-friendly alternative. And now Georgia is joining about a dozen states that have either already made it legal or are in the process of doing so. Governor Brian Kemp signed the bill. It takes place July 1st, allowing funeral homes to offer this. So previously, families had to transport their loved ones out of state, and usually it was fairly far. You can see on your screen there, it was either Washington or Oregon, somewhere on the West Coast, and it would cost thousands of dollars, and obviously it would negate the eco-friendly aspect of this. If you look at some of the statistics, a 2022 Choice Mutual study found that 68% of Americans said they're interested in a more eco-friendly alternative, and this is just one of the options. So it's not just gaining popularity in progressive states. There will be regulatory hurdles, and Georgia saw that. But over the next 10 years, experts say this is only going to gain popularity for folks. Anna?
So what are the critics saying, Elizabeth?
Well, you have really a couple sources of critics. You have people who have very strong religious beliefs. So the Catholic Church does believe in a more traditional burial. And then you have advocates who say, wait a second, is this in line with disease prevention? So obviously, companies are not going to accept bodies that have, let's say, tuberculosis or Ebola, considering we're in the United States, but they have all these safeguards in place to do it in a controlled environment. So you eventually do get that bag of soil, but we're not talking about homeowners putting loved ones in a compost bin. And I say that respectfully because it's early in the morning, you know.
Yeah. All right, Elizabeth Pran, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching.
Okay. Like I said, this is kind of a weird story. I don't know why people want to compost their loved ones. I wonder how much it costs, because dealing with people's deaths is very expensive. It's like $10,000 just to get cremated. It is just unrealistic numbers. And they can do that because what are you going to do? Not be dead? It's too late. You're already dead. And so it's like going to the dentist or going to the mechanic or anything else. They got you. They got you cornered. There isn't anything you could do about it. You got to pay whatever they say the price is. And so it makes me really wonder, how much does it cost to have your loved one composted? The other thing is when you get cremated, you don't get all of your loved ones back. A lot of times there's remnants and stuff that's still there in the furnace. You're not getting all of your loved one back. And so it makes me wonder, when they're composting your loved one, do you really get everything back? How do you know that soil is really them and not just from out back? I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. But either way, 13 states are now participating in it. I don't know how they came up with this. It was a very weird idea. I don't know how they legalized it. I have a lot of questions. Maybe we'll have to go visit the website. Either way, next up, Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan pleads not guilty to obstructing federal agents. Like I said, this is the judge that snuck the border crosser out the back of the courthouse, which obviously they got caught by ICE agents. And everybody thought there was accountability coming, but it doesn't really seem like it. It seems like this case is going to get dismissed. Right now, she's currently suspended with pay, but it's only a matter of time before she goes back to being a judge. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about human composting. Snooks, I can't remember what I said. 10-man going to turn to dirt anyways, just be buried. Yeah. Well, that's why I wonder, is it more expensive to get composted or just to get buried in the ground? J Spray makes smallpox great again. I don't know. Yeah, that's the other thing I wonder is, like, is the soil even good for anything? We eat a bunch of crap our whole life, and then we're going to die and turn into soil. What kind of nutrients does the soil have? Russell, I want an archaeologist to dig up my body in 600 years and say, what the fuck? Yeah, well, don't get composted, because I don't think it works like that if you get composted. Cat Daniels. I'd pick the cat up, but he's going to stick to me. I got to wait till the end of the live to do that kind of activity. J Spray, do we have to report composting? Asking for a friend. I'm not sure how it works. I just think about like transferring the body. You don't do it yourself. You got to send it. You got to send the body to them. They're going to compost it and send you back a bag of dirt. What does it take and cost to ship a body across the country? Like, I don't know. These are rich people problems. That's what it sounds like. I don't know where Klaus is getting $10,000 if I die. Like, it's, you know, he's going to have a hard time. Stoner, one state that did that caught a funeral home putting those corpses in self-storage places. That's rough. That's rough. Those funeral homes are weird, because sometimes those people will keep parts of the people they're working on. Like, I don't know. Just not good. Not good stuff. Weirdos out there. Brian, happy freedom to you. Human composting, is that something in the backyard of an abortion clinic? I mean, I don't know how they do it. Or how long does it take? You know, you ship your loved one across the country, you spend a couple $1,000s doing that, and then how long do you wait before you get your loved one back? Stoner, I want to work at a funeral home to meet goth chicks. You're only going to get the fat ones that used to be dudes last weekend. It's just the way it is. What's up, Cheddar Steve? Happy freedom to you. Turbo, with all the chemical people have in their bodies from the food nowadays, I wouldn't use it as compost. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, what are you going to do with the soil? It doesn't seem like it'd be good for plants. Nana, definitely a case for people who have more dollars than cents. I think you're right. Ghostly, they've had this thing where you get planted in trees, root ball in your whole body. Yeah, I've seen that. Where you grow into a tree. I think we covered that. It was a while ago. But I haven't heard much about it. I bet that's expensive too. Stoner, just throw me in the trash. That's the easy way to do it. J spray, just a big chunk of microplastics. Yeah. J spray, you'll be on a shelf at Goodwill. I love that. Oh, I appreciate you, Meta. Thank you for the compliment. What's up, Rich? Happy Freedom. What's up, Troy Wayne? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Ange? Rich. Let's see. Back surgeries, 2 hips, 1 neck surgery. I told my son he could scrap me when I die. It's all titanium. You're gonna be like hitting the lottery, Rich. You can get some good money from the scrapyard. That's funny. That is funny. Mitchell, my wife and I paid $750 each to have her brother and father cremated for no funeral or anything. I still have both of them on the shelf behind me. Well, that's a deal, because they were charging us crazy money when my grandma died. No, we did not have it. What's up, Daniel? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Nobilis? Tony Brez, Soylent Green. I don't know. I didn't see anybody say make me into cheeseburgers when I die. So I got to be the first one to say it. Anyways, like I said, this next one is Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan pleads not guilty to obstructing federal agents. Let's get this pulled up real quick, like. All right, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
A Wisconsin judge pleaded not guilty this morning to charges of helping an illegal immigrant evade immigration officials. Those officials were trying to arrest the man in Milwaukee, Judge Hannah Dugan's courtroom. Today, the hearing met with protests outside and only lasted about 5 minutes. Matt Smith, political director at our ABC affiliate in Milwaukee, was there.
Kira, good afternoon from outside the federal courthouse here in downtown Milwaukee, where Judge Dugan appeared inside for a brief, roughly 4-minute hearing. Cameras, of course, not allowed inside. Outside, protests as Judge Dugan arrived supporting the judge. Federal prosecutors walking through that grand jury indictment, the accusations that she attempted to help an undocumented immigrant evade federal immigration officials, ICE agents, who were inside the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Judge Dugan officially pleading not guilty today to those charges, which of course have received nationwide attention. It was FBI Director Kash Patel announcing the arrest, posting the picture on social media of Judge Dugan in handcuffs. All of this could move incredibly quickly. The federal judge here today announcing a trial date for July 21st. If it gets to trial, a speedy trial requested by Judge Dugan and her defense. Dugan leaving the federal courthouse quickly after the hearing today, not answering any questions as she got inside her vehicle. The defense team now is asking for this entire case to be dismissed, citing judicial immunity, calling the arrest and the prosecution unconstitutional. Kira.
Matt Smith with WISN. Matt, thank you.
Yep. Arresting somebody for helping an illegal evade ICE is unconstitutional. What a crazy statement. Like, these people are so far off their rocker. They're saying that there was protesters there for the 5 minutes that she was in court, and her defense is saying that the case should be dismissed based on judicial I can't fucking say this word. Judical? We'll go in judical. Judical immunity. We know this. I know that's not how it's said, but that's how I'm going to say it today. Either way, them to go out there and say that her helping an illegal evade ICE is unconstitutional is so ridiculous. I thought we'd stop hearing this kind of stuff when we got rid of old man Walter. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. She blatantly broke the law. She did one of the things that Tom Homan has been saying since before Inauguration Day, that they would crack down on people that were aiding and abetting illegals. This judge did just that, and now they're talking about dismissing the case and calling it unconstitutional. I don't know if there's a way to win out here. Following the law is what we're supposed to do, but the law is not equal to everybody, I guess. Next up, 209 border crossers arrested for trespassing on military land. This is a follow-up video because we covered when they decided to build a military base. I think it's going to be an army base on the border. They haven't got anything built yet. Apparently there's 900 signs out there kind of outlining the zone where they plan on building the base, and they've already busted 209 border crossers trespassing on that property. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this judge in Wisconsin who's about to get off the hook. Russell, give her 7 lashes from a cat and 9 tails, and then deport the judge to a random county. Something. I don't know. Mass deportations was one of the biggest things that everybody voted for. And to just see, like, this nonsense, a judge can break... Apparently judges are above the law. That's what they're saying. Judges are above the law. Shroomish judicial? Nah, that don't sound right. Judical. It's judical. The judical process. Who made those damn words up? What's up, Sly Dog? Happy freedom. Dutton judges think they are the law. Yes, they do. Time Traveler, best part of an ICP show is a Faygo shower. I don't know if I'd like being all sticky and stuff. I've wanted to go to the gathering before the FBI put them on the gang watch list or whatever the shit. But I never had the money for any of that stuff. Now I just see gathering videos on TikTok every once in a while. Stoner, you've always wanted to go to the gathering? Yeah. Sometimes it seems like fun, but sometimes people get messed up. People get all kinds of messed up because everybody's acting like a dumbass. And they think it's funny and they're all drugged out and stuff. And people get their heads split open and everything else. It's like, I don't know. I'm not a young lad anymore. I don't think I could handle being at the gathering in my old age. Stoner, I miss the 3-liter bottles of Faygo. No one sells them shits anymore. I forgot about that. And I haven't seen that in a really long time. Weird. I will have to look next time I go to the store because, I mean, if anybody's going to have it, we're going to have it here in Michigan. That's where it's made. So I don't know. I'll have to look for that. Stoner, I'd eat a Big Mac. That is funny. Yeah, when I kick the bucket, make me into burgers. That's right. What's up, 5D? Happy freedom to you. Done. You see what happened to Tila Tequila and Andrew WK? No, I don't know who Andrew is, but I remember Tila Tequila going, I ain't heard her name in a long time. She went out there and was drunk or something like that, was acting crazy, and they booed her. And I can't remember if somebody had threw something at her or something, but yeah, she didn't do well out there. I remember that. Done. Juggalos don't take shit. Yeah. They're not very popular in jail, though. They say a lot of pedophiles have the Hatchet Man tattoo. So if you go to jail and you got a Hatchet Man tattoo, everybody assumes you're a pedophile. That's the downside of the Juggalo stuff. You go to jail, people are going to think you're a pedo. J Spray, the 3 liter with a large cap. That's what I was thinking too. It's got the giant cap on it. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find it. There's a place, I think it's called Shop and Save, that's not far from the Walmart I go to, and they had a whole aisle that was like dedicated to Faygo. And so I'm going to try and go there Sunday, I think. Maybe Saturday I'm going to try and go there. I'm going to pull up a reminder. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can find the 3 liters. See if they still got them. Meta, torch and flush me, burial at sea. I think some states will let you do that, but I don't think every state will. I think it's according to state law. If they find out. What's up, Contempt? Happy Freedom. Judicial? Nah. Judical. It's like a cuticle. And she's guilty as hell. No more immunity with any of these people. Yeah, I don't understand immunity. Why would she get immunity? She knows the law better than anybody. So if she breaks the law, her consequence should be severe, not immunity. Same thing with police officers. They enforce the law. Why would they get immunity? They should be held accountable to a higher standard. They enforce the law. So if they're breaking it, they obviously are aware of the law they're breaking. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Happy Freedom. What's up, Kelly Jones? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Mike Ingle? What's up, Watchman? Mike Ingle, I guess we've been live for almost an hour now. It's been a hard day. Trying to make the best of it. J Spray, haven't seen one in a minute. Are you here in Michigan? Because I think we're the only ones that are going to see it. I don't think anywhere else in the country we're going to see those 3 liters anymore. And it's been a long time since I've seen it. I totally forgot that was even a thing. Either way, let's move forward here. Like I said, this next one's 209 border crossers arrested for trespassing on military land. What a bunch of idiots. And we're such a nice country that even trespassing on military land, they still didn't get shot. Anyways, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick. If you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We got chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Once again, 209 border crossers arrested for trespassing on military land.
209 people arrested last week in southern New Mexico and charged with illegal entry, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office.
And according to officials, the migrants entered the newly established New Mexico National Defense Area along the U.S.-Mexico border. Reporter Cristiana Ramos reports on the charges they could face.
Hundreds of migrants are facing illegal entry charges, and now additional charges for entering a restricted military area and violating a defense property security regulation. But there's been confusion surrounding the prosecution of those migrants.
There's also no clarity about where exactly these zones are. There's like an estimated zone.
Advocates questioning if there's probable cause to charge them.
People have the right to know where these zones are. We need signs, right? At least, to warn people.
The U.S. Department of Interior says on April 15th it transferred more than 100,000 acres of federal land along the U.S. border in New Mexico to the U.S. Army. That's including a 60-foot wide strip along the Mexican border in Doña Ana, Luna, and Hidalgo counties. This area, now known as the New Mexico National Defense Area, which prohibits any unauthorized entry onto the land. A representative with the U.S. Army writing in an email that troops can detain trespassers, then transfer them to Customs and Border Protection or other law enforcement agencies who handle formal arrests and prosecutions. Several New Mexico organizations speaking out against the border buffer zone.
This could impact anybody who's just stopping along the way, maybe not familiar with the area. and doesn't know it's a militarized zone or a military zone and be apprehended.
ACLU of New Mexico writing in a statement, quote, "The military shouldn't be policing civilians. We don't want militarized zones where border residents, including U.S. citizens, face potential prosecution simply for being in the wrong place," end quote. As of Friday, 209 cases have been filed in New Mexico, including the trespassing on military property, according to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office. The U.S. Attorney's Office says there's approximately 900 signs in the border buffer zone. If convicted, those migrants can face up to 18 additional months behind bars before being deported. Cristiana Ramos, KOAT, Action 7 News.
And we are told Chief U.S. Magistrate Judge Gregory Warmoth of Las Cruces will decide what is next for the migrants charged.
Oh, yeah. The liberals are so stupid. Just dumb as dog shit. It's, oh, we don't need military policing people. What happens if you're a resident and you're just on a walk with your dog and your goldfish in your pocket, and then all of a sudden you accidentally fall into military property and they just swarm you with the SWAT team really quick, and they're out to get you because you didn't know that was military property? Bitch, that's not happening. That's not what happened when the 209 border crossers entered the country illegally. That's not the same fucking thing. These people weren't out for a stroll and then all of a sudden got picked up by Border Patrol. They were breaking into the country. That's what they were doing. That's why they were arrested. That's how they got on our military property. They should have stayed in their own fucking country. And I love that they say this whole thing, all big fear mongering, and then at the end they're like, well, the government says there's 900 signs outlining the zone. Oh, so not only did you break into our country, but you ignored 900 signs that told you were trespassing on military property. Well, our young ones are dumb. They can't read, write, or do math. But anybody who's living in that area probably is aware of the military zone that you ain't supposed to be trespassing on. It is such a desperate attempt to say ignorance. It's ignorance. People are being arrested out of ignorance. No, it's not. It's not ignorance. They were breaking into the country. Ain't nobody getting picked up walking their dog and accidentally coming into the military zone. That is nonsense. That is nonsense. I don't know why people advocate for idiocracy. That is so dumb. That is so dumb. They're like, oh, we need to feel bad for dumb people. No, the fuck we don't. No, we don't. Everybody has an opportunity to be a smart person. If they don't take their opportunity and they want to be a dumb person, so be it. You know, choices have consequences. That's that. I don't know. I don't get the liberals. They're so stupid. Next up, DHS detainees in Texas threatened ICE agents and barricaded themselves inside the detention center. This is the same detention center that showed the inmates wearing all red, spelling out SOS while in the yard. Now, we know that was nonsense because we got a hold of a video showing them spelling out SOS, and then they were high-fiving each other and having themselves a good time laughing and stuff in the yard. So obviously things aren't that serious in the detention center. But not everybody saw that video. So in this video, they're going to bring up the SOS stuff, and they're going to claim like that's how bad it is in the detention center, that these Tren de Aragua inmates and stuff, they had to spell SOS with their body because it's just so bad there. Now they're blockading themselves inside. It sounds like whoever's running that detention center is not doing a very good job. That's just my opinion. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this 209 border crossers getting picked up for trespassing on military property. J-Spray, I don't think there's anywhere you can go for a cruise and accidentally leave the country stoned or drunk. I've heard that there's places in Texas where it's like right on the border. I've heard that there's like stores and stuff where you can walk in the front door and it's America, and if you walk out the back door it's Mexico. But like you're saying, I don't know if there's places where you can accidentally do it. The only time I've heard of people accidentally almost leaving the country is driving truck, getting on the wrong, like taking the wrong exit or not taking an exit soon enough, and then the road just goes straight to the border and you got to figure out how to turn around and you're in a big rig and all that. That's the only time I've ever heard of people like accidentally leaving the country. But what they're talking about, like, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. Those people are trying to break into America and they got busted and they're making excuses. Snooks, is that like accidentally falling into a woman's coochie asking for a friend? Well, the way the world is now, men have learned not to accidentally fall into women's coochies because the punishment is severe. It's very severe. At this point, you can't even look at a woman without being charged. Your only excuse is to say, I don't know what a woman is when they come arrest you. That's all you got. Oh, well. Dunn, I was raised being told ignorance of the law is not a defense. Yeah, Dunn, that's what I've always heard too. It doesn't matter if you don't know the law. If you break it, they will still hold you accountable. Saying, I don't know or I didn't know isn't an excuse. Trapper, 209 more, not in America. That's right. Time traveler waiting for charges. That's ridiculous. Yeah. If they picked us up, they'd know what we're being charged with before they even get our seatbelt on. I don't know why we're treated different than everybody else. Ghostly, I was raised being told I am the law. My dad really liked Judge Dredd. That's hilarious. What's up, Sage Pup? Happy Freedom. And they need a warning. How about stay in your own country and you don't need a warning? Yeah, exactly. My feed. I voted for illegals out, plain and simple. All of us did. And they're fighting us every step of the way. Trapper, my complaint is that the law keeps changing yearly. That's true too. How are you supposed to know what the law is if they're changing it all the time? Governor Whitmer just signed 2 new laws here in Michigan yesterday, and I can't remember what they're about now, right off the top of my head. But what I think is crazy is they don't tell anybody. They're just like, hey, you guys got to follow the laws or else we're going to take your freedom away, but we're not going to tell you what the law is. You got to just figure it out. And so every day I guess we got to research the law, just see if laws have changed at all. I don't know. It's rough. It's rough stuff. Gotta get out of our country. Absolutely. What are you doing down here? You dreaming? Claus Daniels. You alright? Okay. I don't know what he's dreaming about. Dreaming about commies. He's over here woofing. What's up, Trumpster? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Kenneth? Happy freedom to you. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You're right. What's up, Hollis? Happy freedom to you. Vinny C, she's setting you guys up for failure. You're not wrong, Vinny C. That's why I just keep my ass in the house. It's going to be hard to arrest me if I never leave. What's up, Magic Moon? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Henry? Henry, to answer your question, judicial, yeah, judical comes from a Latin word judicium, which means a judge declares or says. Thank you for letting me know, Henry. Cheeky chops with Judge Judy. Yeah. I keep seeing those Judge Judy baby videos. I don't know how they're making those baby videos. I wish somebody would make me a little baby video. I'd like to see what the AI thinks I look like as a baby. FEMA, no, I haven't listened to it yet. I was mixing music yesterday. I had a buddy write me. I haven't talked to him in a long time. And he wanted me to remaster a song that they had recorded with me like 15 years ago or something like that. So I was up yesterday mixing music. I have it pulled up. I got tabs to remind me. I'm going to check it out after the live today. And happy freedom to you, FEMA region. What's up, Giggling Spy? Happy freedom to you. Giggling Spy, there's way too many laws. Federal, state, local. Yeah. Sage Pup. Yeah, I know. We had to change all this stuff out. I don't really know what to do about The Wire. I don't like it being so distracting, but at the same time, I can't tell if the wires were part of the sound issues or not, and this is working, so I kind of don't want to mess with it, but we'll see. If it's too distracting, I'll have to figure something else out. Meta, New Mexico needs to change the law after those 2 little boys with the gun. The other shit we've covered, according to New Mexico residents. Well, the thing is the little boys with the gun, they have a law specifically for that. It's called the Benny's Law. If your kids get a hold of a firearm, then you can be held accountable for it because of the Benny's Law. And even though that happened, those little boys had that pistol on them. They even tried to fire it, but it malfunctioned. They weren't sure if they were going to charge the parents or not. So it's not a law thing, it's an enforcement problem, and we have that nationwide. We do not have anybody enforcing our laws. People are constantly making new laws, just, like every time a shooting happens, anywhere, then everybody wants to pass more gun laws. But nobody enforces the laws that we have, so what's the point of making more laws? And in the gun law situation, the people who are out here breaking gun laws already don't follow laws. So passing more gun laws doesn't do anything for people who don't follow them in the first place. And so it's kind of like, it's not a paradox, but it almost is. Because nobody enforces the laws get broken anyways, and the answer that our elected officials have is to just pass more laws. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Shit isn't getting done around here. Like, that's what it comes down to. Nobody's actually holding anyone accountable, unless it's us. As soon as we step out of line, it's us. Anyways, let's get into this next little bit of the news here. Like I said, DHS detainees in Texas threatened ICE agents and barricaded themselves into this detention center here. And whoever's running this place, they need to be replaced. If you got inmates spelling out SOS in the yard and they're barricading themselves inside, like it's a pro-Hamas protest over at Columbia, it is not being ran correctly. Because anytime I've been arrested and I've been in jail, nobody had an opportunity to do anything. I remember one time we had a guy who went in the shower, filled the trash can up with water, and was using it to do arm curls, and the SWAT team came in and beat him down to the ground over that shit. He had to go to go see Dr. Quack because he got his ass whooped so bad by the COs for putting water in the trash can. But nobody was barricading themselves. Nobody was trying to flood the cell. This guy was trying to work out while everyone was sleeping, and we all woke up to him getting his ass whooped. So, like, whoever's running this place, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
And the Trump administration is making shocking new allegations against alleged Venezuelan gang members it wants to deport in an emergency request for the Supreme Court to lift an injunction stopping alleged Tren de Aragua gang members from being deported under the Alien Enemies Act. The Department of Homeland Security is claiming the alleged TDA members recently barricaded themselves in a Texas facility, a detention facility there, and also even threatened to take hostages. News Nation's Xavier Walton is live outside Prairieland Detention Center in Alvarado, Texas. Good morning, Xavier. Now, this is the same detention facility, I think, right, where the detainees were spelling out SOS with their bodies that we were able to see from a bird's eye view, right?
Anna, good morning. And yeah, you're exactly right. Same facility. However, those men that were involved in that incident and this new one we're just learning about have since been moved to this detention center just behind us here. And you know what? The Justice Department filing a previously unreported incident that happened at the Bluebonnet facility where they were previously, where a group, this is what you were just talking about, of 23 detainees who the Trump administration says are members of the notorious Tren de Aragua gang, allegedly barricaded both front and rear entrance doors of their housing unit inside the Bluebonnet facility. They reportedly used bed cots, covered surveillance cameras, blocked windows. According to ICE's acting field office director in Dallas, the detainees threatened to take hostages, injure facility contract staff and ICE officers, and attempted to flood the housing unit by clogging toilet. So this is the same group of Venezuelan men seen here at that same detention center spelling out SOS, that universal cry for help, apparently just 2 days after that barrel.
Notice the soccer ball between the guys, center, top left from center there. There's a soccer ball there. They weren't playing soccer, though. They're distressed and they need help. Just don't forget that. Shit.
Barricading incident. in a statement announcing that emergency Supreme Court request of the Department of Homeland Security, calling the detainees terrorists and a serious threat to ICE officers and other detainees, and bashing the media as well for repeating their, quote, sob stories, claiming that these detainees are members of a foreign terrorist organization that, quote, rape, maim, and murder for sport. However, these detainees maintain they are not gang members, and at this point, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with that emergency request for the Supreme Court, Anna.
And you have a lot of Republicans saying that these dangerous individuals are the ones that Democrats are willing to fall on their sword for. Xavier Walton, thank you so much. Great reporting.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.
Okay. Now, like I said, that's nice and entertaining, but if they were doing their job, these guys wouldn't have got the opportunity to try and barricade themselves into their housing unit. They're talking about how it's 23 gang members took part in this event. TDA members threatened to take hostages. The detainees threatened ICE staff. They blocked the front and rear entrance to the housing unit they were being held in. They used beds for barricades, block cameras, block windows, and attempted to flood the cell by clogging the toilets. Why? Why did they let that happen? That shit didn't just happen on its own. They let that happen. So I don't know if they don't have enough COs there. I don't know if the person running the facility just isn't on top of things. But that shit had never happened. Like, not at all. These detention centers are supposed to be for like the worst of the worst, right? They're getting deported. This one has TDA members. They might even have MS-13 gang members. Why are they being so soft on them? Because COs in our jails and prisons are not. They can't wait to whoop your ass. They come to work every day ready to whoop your ass. So like, I don't get having a detention center where you have illegals, gang members, terrorists, and then you let them destroy their housing unit and you cover the cameras in the windows and threaten the staff. Like, how does that happen? They got Girl Scouts watching these people? Like, I don't understand that. And this is the second time this specific facility's been in the news. So they need to look into this before something bad does happen. Like, these are antics that are going on, but what happens when they kill one of the COs? What are you going to tell the parents? You know, we're going to tell the family members of the CO. You got to tell that guy's wife. I was like, oh, the illegals are killing us even while they're in detention centers. Like, how does that make sense? That doesn't make any sense. Like, we need responsible individuals to be in charge of these illegal terrorists and stuff like that, because something bad's going to end up happening. Like I said, this is the second time this detention center has been in the news. Somebody needs to do something. Next up, mother allegedly bought son ammunition and tactical gear in order to carry out an attack on Texas middle school. This is quite the duo. Wait till you see the mother. Everybody in the chat's going to be like, I can fix her. I already know. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat. See what you hooligans think about this ICE detention center. Here, Juicer, 4 hours until quitting time, and I just started my 3rd gallon of water. You're drinking water by the gallons? I have a cup of water. I thought I was doing good. You always got to outdo me every day here, Juicer. Just show up. I'm like, hey, guys, I got water. You're like, I remember my first day holding a gallon of water. Jesus, here, Juicer. You're probably sweating your ass off, though, working. Don't work too hard, hair Juicer. They don't deserve you over there. Jay Spray, you're cracking me up. For sure, but if I said the same stuff you did, my freedom of speech would be revoked. Cracking me up. You can hit on me if you want, Jay Spray. It's fine. It's fine. Jay Spray, you got to make sure to post videos and stuff. You go see Posty and Jelly Roll and all that, because I've been seeing videos of their concerts lately. I think I don't know if they're on tour or what, but I keep seeing Jelly Roll and Post Malone together. Lots of videos lately, and it seems like everybody's having a badass time. Stoner, they're just peaceful protesting. Yeah, you're right. I'm trampling all over their rights, those illegals. You know, that makes me a bad person. I just want to take their rights away. Ghostly, I don't know, man. It's all just for show. If they really wanted to get them out, they'd be gone. I think the same way. They have no problem pushing us around, taking our rights away. They don't worry about due process with us. Look at the J6ers. But these illegals, they're just poor little babies. Those are poor little baby illegals. Little Tren de Aragua babies. Yeah, you gotta be nice to those people. Just give them all your shit. Let them move in with you. They can sleep next to your kids. Like, it just... I don't know. I don't know how to make sense of any of it. I don't know. I just thought things were going to be done a lot quicker than what they are. Sage Pup, send weed to the detention centers. The good, strong medical stuff. I bet they'll settle down quick. Yeah. I'm sure. Air conditioning, TV, sitting around smoking blunts and stuff. We got to be mad about it at that point. We're paying for it. We're paying for all of it. They ain't even got to pay for it. Shroomish, I'm so tired of hearing about Jelly Roll and Post Malone too. I used to listen to Jelly Roll when it wasn't cool. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if they're on tour right now or what, but I've been seeing a ton of videos of those guys together. Done. I would have waited for water to leak under the door and hit it with a cattle prod. You need to go down to Texas and let them know how to do their job, Dutton. It sounds like you're on top of things. Trapper, look how buff Jeff is. He's on tech all day. It's lifting the Klaus Daniels, that 20-pounder flounder every day. Yeah, that's my workout routine. Cricket Kiss, definition of a hooligan. Chime in. Interesting, amusing, and life lessons included. That's why you got to join the communities. You got to either join Discord or the website. Hooligans are constantly talking about their experiences. I think hooligans are genuine but a little rough around the edges. MU, everyone is soft these days. Yeah, but that means in the future, people are going to be cold. You know, that's the thing, is because we're constantly evolving. You know, like they say, weak men create hard times create strong men create easy times create weak men. And so we're constantly on the wheel. Everybody's soft and stupid, and I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was 5 years ago in George Floyd days. We're getting away from that. People are starting to remember what a woman is. Starting to not let dudes be in women's sports anymore. Haven't heard about children shitting in a litter box in a little while. And people aren't wearing masks as much as they were. Public outrage is not responded to the way it was. Right? When we had protests before, there'd be 500 people standing in the street. Now the protests are like 12 people standing in the street. And so I think people are getting away from being weak, and they're starting to get more towards being strong. But the more in that direction we go, the more of an authoritarian kind of way we become. We become so cold and cut that we're kind of nasty to each other. And then out of that, we'll create soft people who want a softer environment, because all of us will be too hard. And so, you know, we're getting there. We're getting away from the weak shit, and we need it, because we're a bunch of sissies 5 years ago. People are just, I don't know, that whole trans thing and stuff had people not understanding how to live in the real world anymore. Cricket Kiss, you're a baddie, as am I. We're a couple of baddies, Cricket Kiss. Stoner, painted black like a Rolling Stones song? Like Trudeau? That's something else. What's up, Sergeant Tripod? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Winston? Winston, I heard the Tootsie Roll candy sales are reportedly down because the Diddy trial transcript. Is that what you heard it from? It's got to be it's a, what is the word I'm thinking of? A credible source. That sounds like a credible source. Jay Spray, I followed Jelly since he was a dope boy. He's really turned his life around from what I understand. I've never been a huge Jelly Roll fan, but I've seen a lot of his interviews and stuff like that. He's got like a hot wife, right? And then he like got off drugs. I just saw him talking about his tattoos the other day, saying he's got tattoos he regrets, but the ones on his face aren't any of them. He doesn't regret the ones on his face. Matt Rogers, I'd rather listen to the non-country Jelly Roll music. And when we saw him he only played a small mix of old songs. Interesting. When did you go see him, Matt? Sir Tripod, no regrets. That's right. That's right. Meta. Bulls would roll in numbers and riot gear if that shit happened in California. There was mass protests in California and stuff. Not lately. I haven't seen any. The last protest I seen in California was where all those assholes were waving Mexico's flag. And you don't even see those people now. They were all bent out of shape about the deportations, and after a week they gave up. Guess who? Happy freedom to you. Can we send Diddy to El Salvador? He might like it there. Yeah, you never know. They're going to consider a woman entering the prison. Diddy's pretty. That's what they're going to say. What's up, Status Quo? Happy freedom. What's up, Jim? Happy freedom to you. Status Quo, it's impossible to complain about the weather here in San Diego. At 66 degrees, New Scum fills the void for complaining. Yeah, 66 degrees doesn't sound that bad. I'm not sure what it is. Here, it's 89 here in the house. It probably isn't that hot outside, but I don't know if the people downstairs got their heat on full blast or what. They're trying to kill me by the heat wave. My ice pack's not an ice pack anymore. Look how wet it is. It's like just nothing. I need to get like 4 or 5 of those things. What's up, Bora? Happy freedom. Magic Moon, it's free room and board. Yeah, I don't understand why the illegals are so bent out of shape. They're getting all that free stuff. They should take it with a smile. Hollis, yes, there's a pharmacy in El Paso, Texas. Front door faces Texas. Back exits to Mexico. Fact. Yeah, I've heard of a couple places like that. Matt Rogers, you saw Jelly Roll last year? 10 Man, you need to listen to the story about the midget. I always let guests tell those stories. Doesn't Diddy look like he aged 30 years since he's been in? It's because he ain't got all that fake stuff. He can't spray on his hairline and all that stuff. I don't know if he'll ever get out. I figure he's gonna smoke himself. I'd be really surprised if Diddy got out. There's a lot of people saying that it's coming down to a point, at least so far in his trial. I don't have any Diddy videos for the news today, but I keep seeing people saying that, I think Quartering was one of the people that said this. I might be wrong. But I saw a couple people saying that the Diddy trials come down to him and his girlfriend that he was beating up in the hotel, and the fact that everything that happened was consensual. And so if it was consensual, then they can't get him on human trafficking or rape or sexual abuse or any of that kind of stuff, because they're basically saying that she agreed to it. Now, I don't know what that has to do with the rest of the victims, but a lot of people are saying that like the Diddy trial is going to end up just being over with because there's no victims. And I don't know how that could be, because leading up to the trial, they were saying there was more than 1,000 victims. Now they're saying there's only 20 witnesses. I don't know how you got 40 years of crime, but only 20 witnesses. That doesn't make sense. And so I don't know. The Diddy thing is very suspicious. I'm waiting for interesting details to come out. But so far, it's been a bunch of nothing. It's been about as exciting as phase 1 of the Epstein files. Either way, we're going to get into this next one. Like I said, mother allegedly bought son ammunition and tactical gear to carry out an attack on Texas middle school. All right, hooligans, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
A Rhodes Middle School student is in custody for allegedly plotting a mass shooting, and his own mother is accused of providing him with supplies to carry it out. KENS 5 reporter Megan Reyna is following this story tonight. She's live outside the West Side School. And Megan, you spoke with parents as they were picking up their kids this afternoon.
EC's parents are relieved but disturbed after learning a student was arrested yesterday. But according to this arrest warrant, his own mother is accused of providing him ammunition and tactical gear. 33-year-old Ashley Pardo is facing an aiding and commission of terrorism charge. An aiding and commission of terrorism charge, that is. The warrant states the child's grandmother reported him to police Monday after she discovered multiple loaded magazines, an improvised explosive device, and a note about mass shootings in his bedroom. The warrant states the mom bought him the supplies in exchange for babysitting his younger siblings. This isn't the first time the child has been in trouble with the school. In April, he was caught researching a mass shooting on the school computer. He was then sent to alternative school but returned to campus back on May 8th. One parent we spoke to says she's grateful the grandmother spoke up.
I thank God and I thank her for that, because anything could have happened. You don't know. I could have lost my daughter. You know, a lot of other kids could have gone missing or shot, and teachers, and it's not right.
Investigators say yesterday the teen showed up to school wearing a camo jacket, a mask, and tactical pants, but then left campus. They eventually caught up to him off campus and arrested him. He's facing that terrorism charge. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll dig deeper into the details laid out in this arrest warrant. Reporting live from the West Side, Megan Reyna, KENS 5.
All right, now how many of you hooligans think you can fix her? She's got those tattooed on eyebrows. I was trying to figure it out. I was like, what would I look like? She's like just perpetually scowling. I don't know. She looked like she voted for Harris. I don't know. She looks like she makes her weekly paychecks in the alley. Next up, we got Lefties Losing It. And this one's titled Ben & Jerry's co-founder interrupts RFK Jr. hearing. Of course, it's going to be a plethora of lefties losing their marbles. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this mother. Like how they say, allegedly bought her son ammunition and tactical gear. It allegedly happened. So apparently he was planning a mass shooting. His mother provided the ammo and tactical gear. She is facing aiding and commission terrorism charges. The grandmother found the loaded magazines and homemade explosive device and a note about mass shootings. I wonder what the note said. His mom bought him supplies for babysitting his siblings. All right, little guy. You go and babysit your siblings. I'll get you everything you need for a mass shooting. What? What did that conversation look like? Totally crazy. He was kicked out of school last month for researching mass shootings. He's only been back to school for a week. It's only been like 8 days or something he's been back. And now he's been arrested and his mom's in trouble and everything else because they're a bunch of dumbasses. What was the point? What was the motive? They never even brought that up. What was the motive of the school shooting? Because he was kicked out and he came back. Why'd they let him come back? Why was he only gone a week? How does that work? I have a lot of questions. I imagine we'll have some sort of follow-up on this. It's very weird. Either way, like I said, reading through the chat. What's up, Simply Witchy? Happy freedom to you. Stoner, I could use some tactical gear. I'm curious what tactical gear is. They mean like a vest with pockets? Did he have cargo pants on? What is tactical gear? I mean, did he have a helmet with the whole headset and the night vision goggles? What did he have? Done. I'd babysit for ammo. Why can't I find a deal like that? I'm saying, done. For real. When his mom gets out, you know, she's going to need some babysitting done. Stoner. Maybe she'll give you ammunition for dates. That's one hell of a prostitution agreement. Sage Pup, I bet she takes food stamps for a hookup quickie. I bet you're not wrong. I bet she smells like meth. I can't make subtle jokes. I'm just not good at that. I like being very direct. So Plastic Quack, happy freedom to you. Sly Dog, that mom was planning a late-term abortion. Is that what happened? She was like, yeah, go do the thing, you little pain in my ass. Crazy. Sergeant Tripod, is she single? Don't fuck crazy. Yeah. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. Giggling Spy, she looks like she'll hurt you in her sleep or in your sleep. Yeah. She looks like she would steal your stuff while you're sleeping and sell it for drugs. Plastic Quack, pass. That's funny. Hey, thank you for being here, Pumpkin. Love you too. Bill Clay, that's the kid's mom? Poor kid. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. You don't see any of us going, man, what's wrong with the kid? Nah, we seen his mom. We know what's wrong with him. Stoner, she looks like she would be sticky. That's what I thought too. And I don't like being sticky. Nope. Sage Bob, what the fuck is that? You need a cross. If she gets out of hand, you can pull an exorcism. Stoner, what is nods? I probably shouldn't even say that out loud. Status Quo, Tactical Gears, ballistic armor. You think she bought him ballistic armor? How could she afford that? That's a lot of wienering. You know, she had to put some miles on that week. There's so much stuff I want to say, but it's not Saturday. Yeah, she took a good wienering for that tactical gear. That's crazy. Done. Just walked on. Let's see. Just walked up on my boy with his face in front of a box fan. He had Mr. Potato Head's tongue sticking out of his mouth. Kids are strange. They're always up to no good. It's just you can't ever tell exactly what the goal is. Kids being kids. Meta, what is a freak off? That's just what they call Diddy's sex parties that they were having. Guess who? Wow, she looks like an MS-13 gang member. You're right. You know, she should probably be deported. What's up, Christopher? Happy freedom. What's up, Rhyme Time? Status Quo, say hello to Matt Rogers, whichever platform he's on. Happy racing, Matt. He's over on the website, but he'll probably pop into YouTube. He's usually omnipresent. Bob, how did the gun shop owner see her and sell her a gun? She probably bought it in an alley. Stoner night vision goggles. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Stoner, you know, so what's eating a little carpet to get some night vision goggles? You know, you ain't got to tell nobody. I'm going to tell everybody, but you ain't got to tell me if you don't want to. I get it. Snooks, I don't know what that last one says. What's up, SOS? Happy freedom. Came in right at the Diddy freak off. We're just getting started, SOS. You joined right at the right time. I wish I could remember what your name is. We're going with Orchids. Happy freedom to you, Orchids. All right, hooligans, we're going to get into this next one. Like I said, this is the last little bit of the news before we get into the fun stuff. This is Lefties Losing In. This one's titled Ben & Jerry's co-founder interrupts RFK Jr.'s hearing. Now, we don't have Rita. We got somebody else doing the deal here. But it's okay. It's still funny. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube. And let's get into this.
And now it's time for Lefties Losing It. And first up, this bloke is pretty convinced that white people coming to the US from South Africa are all racist. All of them. Not grateful at all to have a new home in the land of the free, just there to be big old racists.
I need y'all to realize what Trump just did. He brought 8,000 white people out here from South Africa. Not because they need refuge, not because they need asylum. It's because he knows these 8,000 white South Africans are racist. He knows they finna come over here and they're gonna be blatantly racist, thinking that they still in South Africa. But these 8,000 racist gonna find out the hard way. They're gonna around and find out. You can't talk that over here on our soil.
And of course, it didn't take long for the Karens to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, this is for all you YT South Afrikaners that are being shipped in by Trump. You need to know the majority of Americans don't want you here.
What the hell is that?
Back on another plane and fly your little racist YT supremacist butts right on back to your country. Go back to Africa.
And it doesn't even end there. Even Bishop Sean Rowe from the Episcopal Church seemed against helping white refugees from South Africa.
We can't be ourselves in the Episcopal Church and take the step of resettling white Afrikaners from South Africa. Our church has a long commitment to racial justice and reconciliation, and we have historic ties with the Anglican Church of South Africa. Desmond Tutu is a part of, been a partner was a partner in this work for us. So we're just not able to take this step. It's not in line with anything that we're about.
So Jesus can hang out with the tax collectors and the sinners, but apparently he can't hang out with the sappers. Well, that's a very interesting delineation there. And if there was any question that white people have had a target on their back, just look at this speech by a South African politician from back in 2018. This rhetoric has clearly been around for some time.
We'll get 5 white people, 5 to 1 black person. We'll kill 5 white people. We'll kill the children. We'll kill the women. We'll kill anything that we find on our way. They kill one of us, we kill our many.
Back to the US and onto lefty economics. And the Oakland mayor thinks you get rid of inflation by raising the minimum wage.
You're calling for a $50 an hour federal minimum wage. That's 7 times the current national minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. Can you explain how that would be economically sustainable for small businesses?
In the Bay Area, I believe it was the United Way, came out with a report that very recently, $127,000 for a family of 4 is just barely enough to get by. Another survey very recently, $104,000 for a family of 1, barely enough to get by. Low income because of the affordability crisis. And so just do the math.
Friedrich Hayek was bang on the money when he said if socialists understood economics, they wouldn't be socialists. But there is still more, and the barrage of progressives against RFK Jr. continues. And it continues to escalate. Even the Capitol Police had to get involved.
The budget I'm presenting today supports these goals and reflects.
Bobby Jr. thought it was all over. You see the way he jumped? He didn't know what was going to happen. He thought he was getting the Trump treatment.
Police are asked to remove the individuals from the hearing room. Members of the audience.
And among those arrested was Ben & Jerry's co-founder, Ben Cohen. Now, we've seen some pretty revolting carry-on from Ben & Jerry's, but I can't decide if this latest stunt is just an exercise in consistency or, quite frankly, the cherry on the top of that ice cream. Here he is again from another angle.
The audience are reminded disruptions will not be permitted while the committee conducts its business. Capitol Police are asked to remove the individuals from the hearing room.
And lastly, and of course, this segment would be nothing without progressives indulging their children who identify as another species.
The best teacher my daughter has ever had. She lets her be as weird as she is, and she encourages it, and she enjoys it. And that is really meaningful to me and my family. She calls my daughter Ellie Cat because during attendance, my daughter meows instead of saying here. And she doesn't make her feel bad about it. She just embraces it and she loves it, and that's really cool for me as a parent, and it's really cool for my daughter to feel seen in school.
It's no longer just fashionable enough to identify as another gender. We need to keep upping the ante on this escape from reality. I'm done. Joining me now is author and journalist Batia Ungar-Sargon. Batia, I want to start with Trump's speech.
Okay, lefties losing their marbles there. I can't believe that one lady. She's like, you're a bunch of racists, so you go back to Africa where you came from. Like, is that real? Because that was satire. Like, that couldn't have been any more ridiculous. Unbelievable. And I feel bad for Bobby Jr. That protester stood up with her sign or whatever, or whatever the hell it is, and was doing all that screaming, and the look on Bobby's face, he was like, oh shit, he was stuttering. His brain like was the gears were jamming. He thought he was a goner. And I feel bad because it could have been that way. And I think most people laugh about it. I've seen a lot of liberals like talking shit about Bobby Kennedy jumping when those protesters started screaming like that, but I'm pretty sure his uncle was shot and killed, so you know it's not like it's unreasonable to be startled like that. But I kind of feel bad because you could see it in his eyes. Like he thought it was all over. He thought that was that. Anyways, that is the last little bit of the news I had for you hooligans. We're going to get into the fun stuff here in just a second. We're going to be opening today's door of the Advent calendar sent to us by Tori Wayne. And we got 2 funny videos of the day coming up. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about lefties losing it. Matt Rogers, I don't have to play pretend for crazy people. That's right. You're a badass, Matt Rogers. Here, juicer, go back to Africa. Oh my God, I almost peed. I know. I couldn't believe she said that. When I put lefties losing it on, I just see where they bring in their guest hosts and I cut the video there, but I don't watch it. So I'm always surprised at whatever they say for lefties losing it because I don't screen it. I didn't know they said that. That got me all the way off guard. I couldn't believe it when she said it. My face was probably ridiculous. 10-man, RFK Jr.'s dad and uncle were killed. Yeah, so, I mean, he's got reasonable reasons to be jumpy at people, acting out like that. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but I feel bad for Bobby Jr. because the look on his face, he thought it was over. He thought, here's where I'd die, right here in this hearing room, while these people are trying to make me look incompetent, because that's what they're doing. They're out there taking turns trying to hate fuck him, and it's nonsense. We covered a video about this hearing a couple days ago. They were asking him whether or not he would have his kids vaccinated for smallpox and measles. Maybe they didn't say smallpox. It was measles and other things. And he kept saying, like, I don't want this to be medical advice. You're asking me my personal opinion of what I would do with my own kids. I don't want my response to be taken as medical advice. And they were like, well, you're in charge of the CDC, and that's who gives medical advice. As if his personal feelings about how to handle medicine is going to be the standard for America, right? In that kind of sense. And obviously that's not what was happening. But they were trying to make him look incompetent. So he's sitting there doing what he's got to do, eating shit, because that's what they're making him do on Capitol Hill. And then they got these yahoos screaming in the hearing room. He's like, oh, shit, this is where it happens. Like, this is where I go. And that sucks. That sucks that, he went through that. They'd have got the protesters out. If I was Bobby Jr., they'd be like, all right, let's get back. And I'd be like, nah, I got to go change my pants. I thought it was all over. Yep. Matt Rogers, Ben & Jerry's is a very woke company. Yeah, didn't they host a protest not that long ago? I can't remember what it was supposed to be. I just remember that it was something. They put some sort of protest together. Winston, remember JFK Jr. was running against Hillary when his plane crashed. Yeah, it's no good. Rappy, very understandable. He would feel that way. Yeah, I agree. Winston, RFK Jr.'s uncle and dad were offed by assassination from behind, kind of. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think he has a reason to be jumpy. But the liberals, they think it's funny because the things they say on the internet, they say bad stuff about Elon and Trump and everybody else, and nobody holds them accountable, so, don't expect them to stop saying it anytime soon. Stoner, yeah, when a majority of your family gets murdered on separate occasions, being jumpy is okay. Yeah. Sled Dog, bend over, Jerry. That's all I'm going to think about when I see Ben and Jerry's when I'm going through Walmart. Done. RFK's ancestral DNA kicked in. Yeah. Stoner dressing like Curious George's owner. What is his name? Don't they call him the man in the yellow hat? I can't think what his actual name is. Yep. Craig Kiss, love is in your heart, not between your legs. That's true. What Cricket Kiss? What are you talking about? Everybody's breaking out their measuring tape. Done. His name is Tim. No, Curious George is not Tim. No, I don't think so. Hold on. Tim Walls. Ted. You said Tim. It's not Tim, it's Ted. The man in the yellow hat. His name is Ted Shackelford or Ted Shacklefield. Weird, the AI doesn't even know. It says one or the other. His full name is Ted Shackelford or Ted Shacklefield. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever's whatever. Close. You're close, Dutton. Dutton. AI says Theodore Shackelford. Holy crap. Now I gotta ask a different AI. That was Leo. Let's see what Grok says. Half naked woman. Every time I go to X, there's somebody with their tits out. You'll never see men doing that. I'm just saying. Let's see. Grok says he doesn't have a specific first name, but he's referred to as Ted. How do you not have a first name? But what? Curious George's owner's name is the man with the yellow hat. In the original books by H.A. and Margaret Ray, he is not given a specific first or last name, but in some adaptations, like the PBS Kids TV series, he is referred to as Ted. Well, that was a lot more complicated than what I thought I was going to get. J Spray. What's Dale's name? Rusty Shackelford. Isn't that his name? His incognito name? Snooks, they paid for anti-Trump protests across the U.S. Ben and Jerry's did. Were they funding the 50-51 protests? 50 states, 50 protests, one day or whatever? Matt Rogers, they supported BLM, made ice cream with different shades of brown ice cream. Damn, Matt. Yeah, that's crazy. 10 Man, never been a fan of B&J ice cream. It's always been very expensive and way overrated. I've never got it because it was so expensive. What's up, Mr. B. New? Happy freedom to you. Cricket Kiss, tits and pee-pees. Really, peeps? What's wrong with tits and pee-pees? What's the matter with that, Cricket Kiss? Stoner, Alvin, Simon, and Ted? No. Is Ted short for Theodore? Yeah. Teddy Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt. Yeah, I guess. How did they get that? We're digging this hole so deep. That's what she said. What's up, SOS? Happy Freedom. Nah, Trapper, I don't know what that is. I've been tricked too many times. Sage Pop, no, it's Bubba Shackelford. Only on the inside. Stoner, dang, I need to go on X more. I'm telling you, I can't log into X without seeing some tits. Plastic Quack, think I'm just hungry. Pizza sounds good. Pizza's always good. I don't know what I'm going to eat today. Well, I'm not going to eat real food. The grocery store is closed. Silver Wolf, whiskey. Whiskey's always good. Torwayne, yeah, tacos are always good too. Rich, you called Tim's office? Who? Tim? Tampon Tim? Horse drinker? Did you leave a message? Rhonda, I thought Ben was Bernie Sanders. I did too when I first saw the video. Happy freedom to you, Rhonda. What's up, Larry? Happy freedom to you. What's up, WMM? Happy freedom. What's up, Jagula? Happy freedom. Bob, I don't know if I'll be able to tonight. CS, let's see. I want to make time to play that because I haven't been able to play it yet, but I don't know if I'll be able to tonight. I'll let you know. SOS got that ramen tonight with peanut butter. What? What? I've never had. You talking about Raymond's noodles? I ain't never had Raymond's noodles with peanut butter on them. Just, I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, you guys eat Spam, so there is that. Status quo: Teddy Kennedy was proper name of Theodore Kennedy. Sounds more sophisticated that way. All right, hooligans, let's get into the fun stuff. Like I said, we're going to be opening today's door of the Advent calendar sent to us by Tori Wayne. And we got two funny videos of the day. First one's titled Doggone It. And our official funny video of the day is titled Baby Theo is Ready to Go. I love those baby videos. I don't know why. Either way, before we get into the fun stuff, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the description in order to send donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. Let's see what we get out of the Advent calendar today. Today is day 5, making our way through it. We'll see what we get. Oh. I'm going to end up spraying Klaus Daniels down. He's laying around like he's dying. Ain't that hot. Come on, man. Let me see here. What'd we get? Green chili sauce. I like the green sauce. I think the first green one we had was jalapeno. This is just green chili sauce. I bet it's good. I bet it's good stuff. Thank you, Tori Wayne. I appreciate you. All right, hooligans, let's get into these funny videos really quick. We just got cat videos, so I figured we'd go ahead and grab a dog one. Now, I'm not sure if somebody posted this in the chat or not. Let me check really quick because I would like to give people credit. real quick, because somebody posted this, I'm pretty sure. Simply Witchy. Simply Witchy provided this video. Once again, this is titled Doggone It.
You're supposed to be in the pool, Duke.
You can get in. Ladder's on the other side.
Did Mommy say you can go in the pool?
Well, Mommy, I just turned 4.
Come on, let's get out.
7 times 4?
Come on.
24?
Let's get out.
25?
Come on.
No.
You need to get out.
No. Dad would let me play in the pool all day. You know, he'd probably get that ball right there, too.
I'm not getting your ball for you, no.
Mom.
No.
Doggone it.
Get out.
Oh, you just don't care, huh? You just never cared about me. You've always just acted like you cared about me. All those times you told me you loved me. No.
Come on.
No.
I didn't say moon walk away.
See you later. 'Cause I'm bad.
Come on, let's get out.
No.
Come on.
Nope.
Get out.
I'm not getting out. You can either get in or go.
Yup. Doggone it. Alright, we're going to get into our official funny video of the day. Let's get this pulled up. I'm pretty sure I just found this one in the wild.
Would you fight a...
What is this? Oh. Nothing. Anyways, this is titled Baby Theo is Ready to Go.
Would you fight a lesbian for an undisclosed amount of money?
Yeah.
Really? You don't even have to hear the number?
What does undisclosed mean? Do I get to hear it or I don't?
You don't get to know until it's over. You're just ready to fight women.
No, I'm not. Can I train first?
He said he's not ready. He needs to train first. Holy, he's going to get beat up. Anyways, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I'm going to grab this Linktree link really quick, drop it in all the chats. We're going to read through. And we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Alright, hooligans, there's the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, we'd really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. With a paid membership, you will be able to hang out with us in the live chat where you can post GIFs, custom emojis, links, all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums, the arcade, and our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. Let's see, there was something else I was going to say. I can't remember. Either way, go get yourself a membership. Go join Discord. We're going to read through, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. J-spray cats are cool, but they mess with my allergies. Yeah, that cat dander. It'll get you. 10-man golden retrievers love the water. Do they? What's up, Sam? Happy freedom to you. Thank you so much, Cricket Kiss, for that $10 donation over on Rumble. Really appreciate you, Cricket Kiss. Thank you so much. It says for eggs and toast. Thank you, Cricket Kiss. Done. The first video I saw babyfied was the 5th element. That's badass. I haven't even seen that. Done. I need to figure out how to make these. I want to see Die Hard done this way. That's hilarious. I want to figure out how they're made too. I want to take a clip from the live and see what AI makes me look like as a baby. Winston, some of those chili verde sauces can be unexpectedly hottish. Yeah, I wonder if this one will be. I had a green sauce I got from Walmart. They have like these little, I don't know what they are. Some sort of hot sauce. I think it's the same brand that Wad got me. The green sauce they have is good. It's not very hot, but I wonder if this one will be. This is chili sauce. I'm trying to think. We got a chipotle sauce and a chipotle pepper sauce. And the pepper sauce was the one that I tried that kind of tastes like barbecue sauce, but that was kind of hot. Bill Clay, chug it. No, I can't today. I'm hot enough. Hey, thanks for being here, MU. Silver Wolf, I thought today was Friday. No, it's Thursday. Meta. Cats naturally ventilate when it's hot. Think of big cats. It's the cold you got to worry about. Klaus has his water fountain, so that's great. Yeah, he's fine. He's just laying around being lazy because it's hot. Appreciate you, Tony Rich. Magic Moon practice makes perfect. Agent on green chili, good stuff. I think so. I like most of the green sauces I've come across. Bob, canned fish is the way to go. I don't be eating fish. I don't do that. Not unless she's really pretty. Well, thanks, Snooks. I appreciate the compliment. All right, hooligans, it is that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we did the thing. We're going to read through one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind, but we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans, and we'll be doing the voice chat after Coffee with Hooligans, so make sure you get yourself a paid membership for jeffmaclive.com. That way you can join us in the voice chat after tomorrow's Coffee with Hooligans, because we laugh our asses off, and we're researching things and learning things and just being community. So definitely get yourself a paid membership so you can join us in the voice chat, because it's a lot of fun. Silverwolf, you're allergic to fish? Yeah, I'm not a big fish fan. Would you get your booty up here? I can't hold you. You're covered in fur. Come here. Come here. You're a big baby. Well, come here. Get up here. Show them you're alive. Big beefy. I can't hold you because you're a fur baby. Yes, they can almost see me sitting here with just a tank top. Say hello, speak to them, let them know it's hot. It's real hot. Yes. Ooh, all right. Get over there. Get over there. Yeah, great. Now my arm's covered in fur. Okay, reading through. Hey, thanks for being here, Rappy. Sage Pup, the hottest hot sauce is not allowed in hot sauce competitions because it's not made with peppers, but wine cap mushrooms. That's interesting. I've never heard that before. Hey, thanks for being here, Tony Rez. Thank you, Rappy. You too, Bill Clay. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being here, Jay Spray. Thank you, Matt Rogers. Snooks Klaus wants treats. Yeah, he does. Yeah, Meta. He got my whole arm. My whole arm is covered in fur now. Thanks for being here, Tony Rich. Agent O, we put green chili on our cheeseburgers here. I put hot sauce on burgers too, sometimes. Sometimes. Hey, thank you for being here, Dutton. I appreciate you. All right, we did the thing. I appreciate all of you guys being here, covering the news with me, and jumping through the hoops since we had technical issues and all of that. Hopefully you can hear me properly because I don't have any more spare parts. And this wasn't really supposed to be spare parts. This is supposed to be about a future upgrade. But at least I had parts to be able to do Coffee with Hooligans. So hopefully we're good. I'll have to order some extra parts just in case something else breaks, because you never know. Either way, go enjoy the rest of your day. Find yourself some good food. I'm going to do the same, and make sure you make your way back to us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.